Okay, good morning. My name is Curtis Campbell. I'm the head of marketing for OfficePro. Certainly excited you're joining us this morning. We're very excited to have some very strong, very accomplished Microsoft certified trainers on the call with us. They're going to be walking us through a whole bunch of very cool topics this morning. But before we do that, I wanted just to make sure you understood who OfficePro is. OfficePro is a Microsoft certified partner as well. On my screen, you are looking at something that's called MCP, or Microsoft Certified Professional Course Manuals. We have been training individuals and companies for the better part of 40 years on all things Microsoft Office, Adobe, Acrobat, CompTIA, everything you can possibly imagine that helps people do more at work, helping them be the best people they can be. So we've collected a whole series of course manuals and best practices and everything like that. And so we're super excited to offer those up to you here, as well as on various places on our website. So again, I welcome you to check out officeproinc.com and download the resources there and help yourselves continue to grow and develop. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Lance Lingerfelt, who's our regular expert on this call, and he'll kick off today's session.
I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about Secure Score. Now, Secure Score is a tool that uses analytics to help evaluate the security posture of your IT environment. It provides a score based on that security configuration that you have and practices that you are currently using in your environment, and then it'll suggest ways to kind of fix them if something's kind of off in there. Okay, Microsoft Secure Score. Basically, like I said, it's a proactive security tool that helps you evaluate your environment. The security configuration score is a percentage-based score based on what a set of actually compliance and security standards that are measured by Microsoft in their tenants that are said to make you need to comply to in order to be secure in your M365 and Azure environment. Improvement actions are then recommended and are given to you to help you reduce risk. It's important to understand that the definitions of key terms when working with Microsoft Secure Score. The configuration score is the measure of how secure your environment is, where the improvement actions are the actual recommendations. So sometimes when you want to make sure that you got different categories and make sure that you get your improvement actions set up. And it's a good way to get started. And the importance of Secure Score, is to make sure that you have a comprehensive overview of security configuration in your environment. You want to make sure that you're following rules to make sure that your data and your users are safe. It will prioritize security issues that you may have for you and give you a list of things to do, so that many organizations have change controls. They have processes in place to make sure that when changes are made in the environment, they're logged and vetted by the proper staff. So the improvement actions that are given allow you to do different things, and I'll show you that in the demo. Also, it will help you stay compliant by notifying you if there are changes, if there are regressions, if there are issues, or that new things that come up. It just doesn't set it one time and forget it. It keeps an eye on it and lets you know if things are changing. So it's always evolving as Microsoft puts in new products and new changes to like Teams and Outlook and the web apps and the compliance, Azure, and Intra. They update Secure Score and the recommendations that are needed to make sure you stay compliant. All right, we got some use cases for Secure Score. The first one is like identifying and mitigating security vulnerabilities. Microsoft Secure Score will provide a centralized view of the security posture across your various Microsoft services. And then it'll help identify the security vulnerabilities by assessing the configuration and the activities that are going on in your environment against Microsoft best practices. And then it will put that into a score, and the score will reflect the extent of which you have implemented your security controls, which can mitigate potential vulnerabilities. And then you can take those vulnerabilities and make actionable items based on the recommendations to fix your environment or make it more secure. Another use case is prioritizing security investments based on industry best practices. Because the secure score is based on recommendations and best practices by Microsoft, you can be assured that they will be updated and they are not just left alone, and they will make sure that you are properly informed if you are not following security standards and if you need to work on security vulnerability. You do have the options in that to be able to accept the risk that you're taking for legal purposes, and it provides reporting that you can do that with. So again, with regulatory standards, meeting the compliance requirements and regulatory standards. Basically, like I said, the recommendation plans that are given give you detailed instructions, which I'll show in the demo, how to actually mitigate any security problems that you may have, and the best way to do it for your users. And then, as I said, another use case for this is providing a roadmap for secure configuration. When new things come up, it will provide in the recommendations what's currently being used and what might be used in the future, so that you can stay abreast of any security changes as things arise, especially with like email and access to SharePoint and access to Teams data. There's always changes. People are always learning how to hack into things and learning how to do things that need people on your company's end in your IT department to be able to mitigate and secure for your environment. And also what you can do, it lets you track security improvements over time. So you start at a particular level. You can say, we started here and we did these things over this time period, and now our security score is here. So it's very, very good for that. It allows you to track those improvements so that you can say, we did this to improve. Kind of like the same way food vendors are inspected by the health administration to make sure that they follow the safety standards there. You can also show what you've done. All right. Next slide here. Here's some slides that I have of some of the different screenshots, which I'll show you when we get to the demo here. Basically, this shows how you can look up your secure score. In the middle screen there, you see the percentage there, and you have your top menus where you can look at everything. Also, you can look at the recommendation screen on the right. And it's easy to ask. Basically, go to security.microsoft.com/securescore. Or if you just go to the Microsoft portal, you can get to it on the menu to the left where Secure Score is. And I will show you that here in the demo. If you want more information, I will be providing this PowerPoint for availability to where you can use after the session. There are some links here. Secure Score website basically shows you the overview of Secure Score. And then all the IT documentation is available under that and the Learn website, and also on the Docs website, which will allow you to configure Secure Score, know how it works, and know how to do that. Then there's the roadmap. Like I said, there's a roadmap for every product that Microsoft puts out. When they're going to add new features, add new capabilities to the product, they will put it on the roadmap. The link is there. And you can also just go to the Security Center and not only look at Secure Score, but other parts of security in your organization. Okay, it's demo time. So let me move this over here. This is my environment that I have. I have opened up security.microsoft.com and I've gone to a Secure Score, which I have it listed here. Now in this tenant, I have a 66.94% score. Which is not great. It probably needs to be better, but you can compare yourself to other companies of your size and of similar background. So if you work in banking industry, if you work in IT industry, manufacturing, you can compare yourself to other organizations, and compared to others, you can see they're at 41% and I'm at 66%. So I'm a little bit better. Here are your actions to review. If anything's regressed, you can click on that and find out what happened to regress. That means your security posture went down. for some reason. Maybe you added a conditional access policy that excludes users, like Olafake was talking about. That can actually change your secure score. You have a number of issues and recommendations that need to be addressed. And then if you plan them, you can put them in a plan state, and that will affect your score. And then, of course, I have some that I accept the risk, or if you're doing it through another party, like a lot of the identity stuff, if you're not using Azure AD Connect or Entra ID Connect to sync your on-premise AD or to do your password syncing, you can use a program like Okta or Ping ID or another tool that will have to say you're doing it through a third party, which I'll show you here in a second. But again, here's a breakdown of your categories. It does by identity, data. It says devices and apps. So you have broken down into groups, and your opportunities in white, and what you've done is in blue. So you can always go and look at your changes, the history. As I said, you can look at the history of what you've done. Here's some resources that you have, and any messages from Microsoft that might be going on if secure score is not working or something like that. So what I like to do is look at this and then see, if anything new's popped up here, and see, everything's good that needs to be addressed immediately. Some of these that I have, you can always go to recommendation actions, and it puts a full list up there. So you go to your recommendation actions, and then say, a lot of these are for, it tells you what product it is. Like, so I have Defender for Endpoint that I use on my servers. So a lot of these are the device ones that you can set up. And so let's see, I have Defender for Office here. So set the phishing level of email to 2 or higher. Let's do this one. This will pull up a window here and says, here's a description of what it is. And here's what you've done to implement it. So it says 100% of my users are affected by policies that are configured less securely than the recommended action. So, okay, so, well, I got to make the change on this. So what do I need to do here? Okay, it says I have the proper, it'll tell you if you have the proper licenses. Sometimes you might have to accept a risk if you don't have the license for it, if you don't pay for the license for it. So that'll give you any prerequisites you have. It says then I have to go to an anti-phishing policy of a phishing email threshold, and to do that. So I can go here to learn more, to pull up a document on how to do that. So if I want to do that, I can pull that up here. It'll take me to the learn and take me to the exact place where I need to go to do it. And then I can go make those changes. What I can do from this here is go to the action plan and say, okay, I know what I need to do. I need to go through my manager to make sure that I'm going to do it. And so I click it on planned, and then say plan to fix next Friday. And you can save it, and then it will put it in a plan state. If you choose to have risk accepted, then you have to choose, if you choose to have risk accepted, then you have to choose a reason why. If you say if you're resolving it through another system, then you say resolve through third party, or if you do it some other way. But this gives you those choices to be able to do that. And then you can also use tags, because tags are really good. Like last week in Outlook, we were talking about the categories, and I thought that was really, really neat. You can tag things in Azure to kind of put it on your dashboard, to kind of make it so it's easy to get everything. So you don't have to sit there and go to security, and then have to go to compliance, and then have to go to Entra ID. You can kind of have a dashboard that kind of has everything in it, and you can tag everything so that you can easily say, oh, I want to search on email stuff. And you can tag it as email stuff, and it'll pull all this relevant data. So here you can go through the different ones, and go through and resolve all these, and it'll affect your score in the end. And so whenever changes are made, say I made some changes here, and then I made some changes here, and then I did something right here, and my score went way up from like 64% to 67%. So, and it'll tell you exactly what you did and who did it, and if Microsoft found something that you're already doing, and up your score. So, and when you make changes, saying things to planned, as I did, it will affect and say put it in a planned state. So, That's pretty neat. Again, you can look at your trends. You can compare it to other companies. You can see if there is any testing done. And if you decide to go in the AI route, AI can, the AI security for Copilot will look at this data and try to assist you in actually preparing and making this work for you. So um, anyway, that's pretty much how Secure Score works off the top of my head. Are there any questions? Okay, well, we're almost at the top of the hour. Thank you, everyone. I'd like to thank OfficePro, of course, Curtis and Aaron Oba for letting me do these office hours. I'd like to thank the Microsoft Speakers Hubs for providing our speakers today. They're a great resource. Olavikia and Victoria, thank you again. You did a great job. Great job. Great. You can reach me at my blog at itblog.ldl.net. My email's listed here. Again, this will be available for review once I get everything completed, the video edited. Next week's topics, I am headed to Denver, Colorado to go to the vNext conference. It's going to be a great show. There's going to be a lot of talk about AI, and there's going to be a lot of talk about SharePoint and Teams there. So all these tools that are being used and how to properly use them and make your workplace better. A big part of being a trainer and a big part of being a speaker in today's world is to be able to network at these conferences. So my topic next week is going to be how I do that and how I do some of my marketing to help promote myself and other speakers and how I meet people and give you kind of a review of the conference. And then the week after that is going to be the big Microsoft conference, which is the M365 Community Conference in Orlando, Florida. I will be at that as well. So if you're going to those conferences, come and meet me, come and see me. I'll probably be in the sales area with all the booths. And attending probably most of the AI or the SharePoint and Exchange topics at the conferences. So anyway, again, thank you. This is Lance Lingerfelt with Office Hours. I will give it to Curtis. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to ping any of us on our social media. And glad to have you. Thank you.